You are the apex of the food chain. Almost. The illusion begins with the name primates give your species. Carcharodon carchareus. Great white shark. The great predator. A myth encapsulated in cartilage, power, and serrated teeth. When the water chills and the sunlight shatters into green and blue beams that barely penetrate the surface, you move like a submerged razor, a league gray silhouette that knows no natural predators. Biologically speaking, you are a perfect killing machine, honed by millions of years of hunger and selection. Your skin is not smooth. It is a hide of sandpaper, an armor of dermal denticles that rips through the water flow, allowing you to glide with a silent efficiency that should guarantee you the throne. Your jaw is a masterpiece of cruel engineering, capable of exerting tons of pressure, and your senses are hypersensitive antennae, picking up vibrations miles away, reading the electromagnetic field of a heart pulsing in the dark. You were born to dominate, but nature doesn't care about myths. It cares about size and reproductive necessity. And you are a male. The brutal reality is this: you are an elite warrior, but you were born in the role of a disposable sentry. Fear is not a luxury, it is an operating system. Fear doesn't come from orcas or fishing nets. Fear has the salty, dense, metallic odor of semen mixed with blood. Fear has the shape of a body that is 30% longer and 50% heavier than yours. When an adult female glides through your hunting territory, the instinct to dominate freezes into panic. No matter how hungry you are, her priority is always first. She eats first. She hunts in the richest location. You eat the scraps. If you are stubborn, her warning bite is not a threat. It is a cartilage fracture. If you are too stubborn, she might just eat you. You are the apex of an ecosystem, yes. But you are the lowest apex, the hunter who lives in the matriarch's shadow, condemned to a life of constant migration to less nutritious areas, just to avoid the attention of the one truly in charge. Your strength is a biological fact. Your usefulness is a nihilistic tragedy. Your origin was not a birth. It was a war. You do not remember the light. The first sensory memory is the viscous heat, the absolute darkness, and the amplified sound of your mother's slow, massive heartbeats reverberating through the warm, salty amniotic fluid that enveloped you. Her uterus was not a cradle. It was an internal arena, an isolation cell where the only rule was mutual annihilation. You were born from an egg, but you did not emerge from it. Inside your mother's body, the egg hatched, and you, a pup just over 60 centimeters long, began to move blindly. There was no placenta to nourish you. There were your siblings. You smelled the first scent of blood. Not the smell of prey, but the smell of fresh, pulsing iron. The taste. You had no choice, no training. Hunger, the first of all pains, took hold. Your fragile body, already perfectly equipped with rows of glass-sharp teeth, arched to bite. The flesh was soft, the cartilage pliable. You swallowed the remains of the eggs that hadn't hatched, oophagy, and then went after your slowest sibling. The internal darkness was punctuated by quick attacks, spasms of frantic violence. You fought against the other pups, all competing for the same limited resource that was the substance of life, the flesh of your relatives. You tore one's fin, felt the sharp sting of another's bite on your flank, and retaliated with a blind ferocity that was not hatred, but pure caloric necessity. You survived gestation by devouring your lineage. You are a killer from the first moment. That is your family legacy. For months, the darkness was your universe. You grew, gaining mass and strength, fueled by that intrauterine cannibalism, until the resources ran out and the environment became too cramped. Your mother, unaware of who survived the internal slaughter, only felt the pressure of expulsion. Birth was a violent ejection. Suddenly, the temperature dropped. The warm darkness gave way to a shock of bluish-green luminosity, cold and expansive. You were flung out, along with other viscous debris, into shallow water, protected by mangroves or sandbars. The first instinct was not to swim, but to hide. You inhaled the first salt water through your gills, and the sensation was burning. The smell was overwhelming: salt, algae, and worse, the faint but unmistakable scent of the big shark. The scent of a predator, which now was not just distant, but could be your own mother, who had zero interest in nurturing or protecting her offspring. You are just a biological product. Your body, now a meter of pure cartilage and instinct, is a target. Life is an immediate sprint to the bottom, to the shadows, where large mammals don't swim and bigger sharks, including relatives, don't see you. Your initial physical vulnerability is the tragedy of the predator. You are built to kill sea lions, but right now you are smaller than a juvenile dolphin. Your only superpower is speed and the ability to blend into the deep blue. You learn to swim without stopping, to keep the flow of water across your gills, to ignore the chronic pain in your fins. Stopping means sinking, means suffocating, means being found. Life is an incessant effort. In the first months, you feed on small bony fish and crustaceans. You use your lateral line, sensing every pulsation, every nervous movement of a school of fish. You are a hungry ghost. Hunger is your clock, and fear is your compass. Fear teaches hierarchy. You see other great white sharks, maybe slightly older, perhaps juvenile females already noticeably larger. They move with a heavy confidence. You move with the lightness of panic. You learn that size is the only currency. A 30-centimeter difference in length means you are not a competitor. You are an appetizer. You steer clear of beached whale carcasses or freshly slaughtered fish schools if anyone bigger is nearby. The indoctrination is quick and cruel. Nature does not celebrate individual excellence. It celebrates reproductive mass. And you, as a male, are merely the vector of that mass, a vehicle for the DNA, and therefore less valuable than the female who will carry the next generation of cannibal killers. Your youth is a constant solitary exile, forced to hunt in cold, choppy waters, far from the hunting grounds of the dominant adults. You grow fast, but never fast enough. Each year, the size difference between you and the adult females increases. They become true battle tanks. You become a fast interceptor. The illusion of being king of the ocean vanished the first time you felt the low, slow vibration of a 6-meter female approaching. Your only reaction was to dive, swim away, and accept the pain of hunger as a fair price for survival. The ocean is vast, but the rules are claustrophobic. You are now in young adulthood. Your body is nearly complete. Your teeth are replaced continuously, a conveyor belt of blades ready for the kill. You are strong enough to take down a sea lion with a single strike, but you are still small and still hungry. You smell a sea otter, fat and nutritious, swimming above you near the surface. It is an easy target. You adjust your fins, prepare the vertical thrust, the acceleration that tears through the water. But then, the electrical field shifts. Your ampulla of Lorenzini pick up a distant, powerful pulse. It is her. She isn't hunting the otter. She is hunting you. Not for hunger, perhaps, but for dominance, for territory. It is a biological reminder that the water belongs to her. You abort the attack. The impulse transforms into a desperate horizontal flight, your empty stomach clenching in resignation. Your destiny is not dominance. Your destiny is submission. Your life is a series of migrations away from the females, a constant hunt on the periphery of the feast. You are a cog in the ocean's machine, and your primary function is to be discreet, fast, and, above all, enough of a survivor to, perhaps one day, have the chance to pass on the genes that made you a killer, but not a king. The life of a myth is exhausting, and hunger, always hunger, is your only true master. You dive south, where the water is colder, saturated with glacial oxygen, and less frequented by territorial females. You are hunting where the reward is smaller, but the probability of survival is greater. Your only company is the white noise of the ocean and the earth as magnetic field, guiding your incessant swimming. You find what appears to be a temporary paradise, a colony of elephant seals on an isolated rocky island. The water here is brownish-green. The smell of guano and mammalian oil is nearly suffocating, but it is the smell of opportunity. You conduct your patrol, methodical and invisible, waiting for the moment to attack, for the mistake of the young and inattentive. You wait for 3 days. The tension is barbed wire in your gut. When the chance arises an arrogant juvenile male, venturing too far into the surf, you explode into action. It is your predatory masterpiece. The acceleration is so violent your eyes momentarily roll back. You strike the target with the force of a small car. Your jaw slams shut, the lower teeth piercing the blubber, the upper ones tearing through muscle. The blood is hot and dark, a rich velvet spreading through the cold water. You eat until the pain of hunger is replaced by the pain of distension. Satiety is a momentary dizziness, a chemical spike that allows you to forget for a few precious hours that you are a biological slave. You feel the weight of the meat in your stomach, vital energy being converted into heat. It is the closest you will ever come to feeling like a king. You spend the following weeks in this limbo of hunting and digestion, regaining the weight loss during the long migrations. Your skin is smoother, your scars look less profound. But biology does not allow for peace. The scent. It is not the smell of blood or dead fish. It is the scent of a mature female, carried by the currents, and which now dominates your ampulla of Lorenzini. She is in cycle. Her hormones are screaming, and her presence is an electric force field that pulls you in irresistibly. Instinct, that brutal chemical indoctrination, overrides all the survival logic you cultivated for years. You know she is twice your size, that she could crush your skull with a single lateral movement of her jaw. But nature programmed you to go. You find her in deeper waters. She is a gray mountain, marked by years of battles and reproduction. She floats with an indifference more terrifying than any aggression. You circle, submissive, waiting for the signal. The copulation of the great white shark is not an act of union. It is an act of subjugation. To hold on to her and ensure genetic transfer, you must bite her. You attack her pectoral fin, the only area that, in the female, has evolved to have skin 3 times thicker than yours. Your sharp teeth sink in, and she barely moves. It is a mosquito bite to her, but the effort for you is immense. The pain does not come from her. The pain comes from your own muscle tension, from the desperate expenditure of energy, and from the nervous exhaustion of being so close to something that could liquidate you instantly. The act is swift, violent, and humiliating. She remains passive, almost bored, while you writhe to fulfill your sole biological purpose. When it's over, she doesn't reward you. She simply discards you. A brutal movement of her massive tail tosses you far away. You are exhausted. The saturation of hunger is gone. The cost of reproduction was astronomical. You are now an empty shell, wounded in the mouth, with internal injuries from the effort. You fulfilled your genetic destiny, but the price is your usefulness. The fall is not dramatic. It is a slow dissolution. In the following months, you try to resume the hunting routine, but something has changed. The speed isn't the same. The vertical thrust is sluggish. The wounds in your mouth, caused by biting the female's armored skin, subtly begin to fester. You miss the first attack. The sea lion, which once would have been a guaranteed meal, escapes by a meter. You feel the drag of the water on your gills, the lack of power. It is the onset of senescence, accelerated by the stress of migration and forced reproduction. The worst part isn't the pain, but the indifference of the others. Smaller sharks, who once instinctively avoided you, begin to swim a little closer. They sense your weakened electrical field, the hesitation in your swimming. They don't need to attack you. They just need to know that you are no longer the predator you once were. you develop a persistent infection in your fins. The salt water, which should be an antiseptic, now seems like a culture medium. The pain is a constant throbbing that radiates to your spinal cord. You begin to move toward the depths, not to hunt, but to hide. The pain of hunger returns, but now it is accompanied by the pain of sickness. You hunt for carcasses, scraps thrown overboard by ships, but the energy spent to find them barely covers the cost of digestion. You are operating in debt. Your teeth continue to be replaced, but the process is slower. The new teeth look more brittle, less white. The machine is rusting. You are growing old. For a great white shark, old age is not dignified. It is merely the final stage of uselessness. You remember the scent of the otter you couldn't hunt years ago for fear of a female. Now, you don't hunt it because you no longer have the speed. Fear has been replaced by incapacity. The final biological betrayal is solitude. You move away into the open ocean. No more coastline, no more seals. Your body's need for oxygen decreases. You become a gray ghost in the colder layers, where sunlight is only a deep blue memory. You stop swimming for longer periods. The great white shark requires movement to breathe, to force water through its gills. But movement now hurts. Every muscle contraction is torture, a warning that your glycogen stores are empty. You allow yourself to sink slightly. The smell of the infection in your own flesh is now the dominant scent in your world. The cold water permeates your open wounds. You do not die in an epic battle. You die of weariness, of slow septicemia, of metabolic exhaustion. You die like most complex animals, alone and without immediate purpose. The last signal your ampulla of Lorenzini detect is neither from prey nor from a predator. It is the weak electrical field of a migrating pilot whale swimming far, far above. Life continues, vibrant and indifferent. Your body, now sluggish, tilts. The flow of water over the gills ceases. Oxygen rapidly drains away. The brain, which spent its entire life calculating distances, escapes, and attacks, shuts down into a colorless darkness. You sink. Slowly, heavily, you disappear into the abyssal zone, where not even the sunlight can reach you. You are no longer the top of the chain. You are the foundation of the next one. Your body will be cleaned by hagfish, by scavenging crustaceans, by organisms that live in the darkness and feed on the failure of others. You will not be remembered. There are no monuments in the ocean. The great white shark that will occupy your former marginal hunting territory is a younger male, faster, equally stupid, and equally desperate. He will also spend his life fleeing the larger females, hunting scraps, and dreaming of the brief, painful, and useless moment of reproduction. Nature does not care about your strength, only your fertility. You were a disposable tool, an arrow launched to fulfill a single genetic function. You lived in constant danger, but the danger was never the sea lion or the orca. The danger was your own biology. The ocean is vast, but your life was minuscule. And now, you are merely the silence. Oblivion is cold and absolute. If you prefer brutal truth over myth, like this video. Subscribe so you don't miss the next analysis and share the story the ocean doesn't want you to know.